November. Investigators say Anthony Guevara changed the governor's address on his voter registration by using simple information online that someone could take right off your Facebook page. In Guevara's search history, investigators found the Department of State website and voter information lookup page. That's how he was able to change Governor Ron DeSantis' address to an address in West Palm Beach. The Secretary of State says this was not a breach in their system. They were able to fix it so the governor was still able to vote. Court documents show the state and defense worked out an agreement to allow a Cape Coral police officer to enter into diversion after a hit and run. Investigators say surveillance video shows that officer, who works undercover, back his truck into a car in a parking lot. Then they say he got out to look at that damage, went into the hotel, and then came back and left. They're expected back in court November 17th. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Good Thursday morning. There is a crash in Lehigh at Alabama Road and State Road 82. No reports of injury or roadblock, but we know this is a very big intersection, so lots of extra caution passing through. Fully up to speed on Sunshine heading south to 82. There is slow traffic on Columbus northbound towards Jaguar. No surprise there. And busy traffic as well heading towards East Lee County High School on Milwaukee. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. Thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Get the best sleep of your life. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
This is a conservative alert. Amendment 3 is dangerous. Liberals hate that conservatives lead Florida's legislature. Even with Barack Obama's help, liberals could not take back legislative seats. Amendment 3 is their new scheme. It allows even supporters of socialists like Bernie Sanders to vote against conservatives in primaries. Stop the scheme. Vote no on Amendment 3. Paid electioneering communication paid for by Save My Constitution. 1700 North Monroe Street, Suite 11253, Tallahassee, Florida 32303.
Cleanings, checkups, and cavities? Have Dr. Chang's dental practice at capacity.
Patient in room 1 is getting a root canal. The x-rays in room 2 are going to have to wait. We're down to 1 hygienist.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Guess what, Southwest Florida? It's not too late. You can still get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in, but only at Naples Nissan. Yes, bring us that 6, 7, 8-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you what you paid for it, so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. So, yeah, whatever it was worth back in 2012, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought your car from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2012 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to naplesnissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road to get the full base MSRP for your trade-in and drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening.
Sure.
Who's able to hear more than what's being said and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Walgreens has always been there to help.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're joining us today. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Ouch. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Do we have another set? I didn't even ask you before we went on. Do we have anything else? This is all we have. Man. I apologize. We're doing a little... On the air, we're doing a little... So
I have a newer set of those that aren't ancient.
Maybe try it. I left my headphones at home, and I'm having to use these headphones in particular, and they are so bright that it's piercing my brain.
It honestly looks like you're about to take off in an airplane.
Oh, do you have something else that you can bring in? I'm sorry to do this on air at the beginning of the program, but listen, this is the kind of thing when you're watching on YouTube, you can see exactly what's going on. If you're listening, I apologize because there's a lot happening. Okay, these are newer. All right, well, these look better. Let's give it a shot here. All right, I'm just going to keep talking as I switch over these headphones. Man, I can't... I don't know how many of you can appreciate what I'm talking about, but I'm already... Here, Jake. All right, Jake is grabbing them. Now, don't hit the camera. All right. Very good. Let's see what we have here. Are these better? Oh, nice. All right, much better. Woo! That was crazy. Those headphones sound, they pierce your brain. What in the world is going on?
I think they've been here since the station started.
Is that 1956? I think those headphones have been here since. All right. I apologize, everybody. I didn't expect that was going to be the case going. All right. Let's see. What do we have lined up for you today? Number one, if you would like my picks, my election picks, 2020 picks, many people have been emailing and asking for those picks. That's why I did it. So for you, I put them together with the amendments and judges and local races. And a lot of these races, very important, especially the ones that do not have party affiliation, races or specific races where you don't hear a lot about the individual and you're concerned about whether they're a Democrat, Republican, or whether they're a conservative, whether they are going to vote or... the person that you're voting for is your values. That's why I made the list. So certainly we're Fort Myers mayor and school board and races. Please focus on those as well, because there are people. I'm surprised at how this year, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I'm so surprised about how this year there are more Democrats, not only in Southwest Florida, that are getting a lot of attention on the streets, getting a lot of attention at events that are blanketing social media and other places with their picks, with the Democrats here in town, recognizing who they are and being very open about it. I'm even looking on Wink right now. And the Wink News website, Florida sees big young voter turnout during the election in 2020. Now, they're saying that statewide, that there is something like 400,000 young Floridians ages 18 to 29 who have already voted either in person or by mail-in ballot for this election. Nationwide, the number grows to 5 million youth voters. Now, a couple of things come to mind, and this is not where I wanted to start necessarily, but this is where I'm starting this morning just because it came to my mind before we went on the air. young Floridians ages 18 to 29. Does anybody think like somebody who's almost 30 years old or 30 is young? I mean, maybe my perception of what is young and what isn't young is different. I'm not saying that 30 isn't young, but I'm thinking like 18 to, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like 18 to 24, 18 to 21. To me, if that's a young voter. If you're almost 30 years old, are you still considered a young? I guess you are. Does that make me, Jake, does that make me super old when I say that? Or does that make me, I don't, do you see what I'm saying? It's like when somebody says, hey, your child can stay on your healthcare plan. Your 29-year-old child, 29 years old is not a child. But anyway, I digress. And it says here that, according to Wink, what is it? 4 times? Youth voter turnout in Florida is already strong in 2020. Research shows the number of young voters at this point is more than 4 times the early vote in the state in 2016. Now, I wonder where those younger voters are going. Is the assumption that they're going Democrat? Do we even know? When we look at some of the numbers here in the state, we're going to dig in. Kevin Derby from FloridaDaily.com is going to join us at 7:35 to dig in to some of these state numbers. Florida is an incredibly important state here in this election cycle, as it always is, but this year more than ever. Hard to believe that Joe Biden would be able to win the election without Florida. And when you start to see how the Democrats have a lead right now in the state that is quickly evaporating to the point where I'm starting to read more and more about the polls that at the rate that the Republicans are going out, Republican vote increasing day by day in the state of Florida, at the rate that we are going right now, that the talk is that we will be past the kind of early in-person voting numbers and the target numbers that we hit in 2016 when Donald Trump won the election. We're going to hit those numbers by tomorrow. So right now, as of 10 hours ago, according to Larry Schweikert, who's been watching this closely here in the state of Florida, Republicans right now, 424,000 votes. The lead for Democrats is 620,000. When you take away the two numbers, you get about 196,000 Democrat lead right now. On election eve, in 2016, Democrats had an 88,000 vote advantage. And the target that Republicans wanted to hit on election eve was 108,000. And we know that Trump won the election on election day by 113,000. So you see where I'm going with this? The target was that Republicans wanted to be at 108,000 on the difference between Democrat and Republican. They wanted to be at 108,000. They wanted to be at 108,000 on election day. The president won by 113. That was the flip. Right now, if you're looking at the target numbers in the same way that they're setting up with 2016, if you're looking at that same model, that election eve number, the second target, that was election day, that number will be hit by Friday. If that's the case, then there are people, and it's not me, but there are people that are saying, and maybe Kevin Derby will give us more information, that the president could win the state by as much as 6. I mean, it could be a big, huge victory. Doesn't mean that you sit by and you feel comfortable about that. You still have to get out, get your friends, get out and vote, preferably now, more than election day, but certainly these targets look like they're going to be hit. All right, good stuff. 239-479-5592. All right, I'm looking at some of the texts that are coming in. Maybe you want to comment on what I'm talking about when it comes to the early voting. Maybe you want to comment more on the Utes.
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes.
Yeah.
What is a Ute?
All right. Really? Just looking at some of the texts. I just spoke with an FGCU student yesterday. She told me she's got a lot of friends, young 21-year-old friends that are voting for Trump. All right. We'll see. And somebody else saying 27 years old, working here in Southwest Florida, and more younger Republicans down here than meets the eye. I would say that as well. Seems like that is the case. All right. Now we have to get into this. Some of the topics that we will be hitting this morning include big tech and Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg and the Senate questioning big tech yesterday and some of what was going on during a Senate hearing about the platform and what they have been doing in censorship against conservatives, against the president, the New York Post. If you had a chance to see what Jack Dorsey looks like these days, with that big long beard and Mark Zuckerberg, the way he always looks. Mark Zuckerberg looks like, what's the word I'm looking for, Jake? Mark Zuckerberg, if you just arrived on the planet and you were an alien and you looked at Mark Zuckerberg, would you think, hey, did that guy get here before me? Right? Isn't that the
Pretty
kind
much
of
like, yeah, that guy is not supposed to be here.
right? He looks like a very robotic, it doesn't look real.
You ever seen him drink water?
No. That's a whole other. Well, does he drink it through like his ear or something? Is it? I don't know how that works.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
All right. We'll get into that story in the audio so you can hear how crazy this Senate hearing was and what Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey were talking about, which is, what you see is not really happening. There's no censorship. We're not doing anything. No, really, that's what they were saying. But I look at Zuckerberg and I look at Jack Dorsey and I see two people that do not give a about what you think. That's what I think. I think you've got two people that are living their life and could care less because they know that everything you're trying to do to them, it's sort of, if you're watching on YouTube and you're Italian, you know what this means. Now, there you go. Like, whatever. All right. Some text coming in. I'm a young voter and I was going to vote for Biden until I accidentally put the radio on your show. I now realize my mistake and I did vote for Trump. Thank you. Hashtag Sleepy Joe Biden. Look at you. We need a little, what are you laughing at, Jake? You don't think there's a lot of truth in that text?
No, it's just the Sleepy Joe thing.
Yeah, I like the Sleepy Joe part. All right. I've got to change the call screen in case you're, because we don't have anything up there. Oh, that first call is that's what we have on line one? Okay. 239-479-5592. And then there's this. Okay. So, Tucker Carlson had a couple of things to say last night, more on his exclusive Bobulinski interview and some of the audio that they have discovered of Rob Walker telling Bobulinski that if somebody comes out now and verifies the story, it blows up big time. People that are associated with this whole Biden crime family, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, all the connections, China, it's ugly. But then something else happened last night that Tucker Carlson wanted to mention to people, and it's 2 minutes, but I think you need to hear this because as the story turns, it feels like that. As the story turns in the Hunter Biden case, it really feels like a soap opera. But worse, listen to this.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you about. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing to interview Tony Bobulinski about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York, and we asked him to send those documents to us in L.A., and he did that. So Monday afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that we've used, you've used countless times with never a single problem.
Are you starting to get the feeling where this is going, everybody?
But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the contents were missing. The documents had disappeared. Now, to its credit, the company took this very seriously and immediately began a search. They traced the envelope from the moment our producers dropped it off in Manhattan on Monday all the way to 3:44 a.m. yesterday morning. That's when an employee at a sorting facility in another state noticed that our package was open and empty. Apparently it had been opened. So the company's security team interviewed every one of its employees who touched the envelope we sent. They searched the plane and the trucks that carried it. They went through the office in New York where our producer dropped that package off. They combed the entire cavernous sorting facility. They used pictures of what we had sent so that searchers would know what to look for. They went far and beyond, but they found nothing. Those documents have vanished. As of tonight, the company has no idea and no working theory even about what happened to this trove of materials, documents that are directly relevant to the presidential campaign just 6 days from now. We spoke to executives at that company a few hours ago. They seemed baffled and deeply bothered by this.
Baffled and troubled. So the documents that Tucker Carlson wanted that had to do with Bobulinski, Hunter Biden, China connections. They wanted these documents in their hands. They shipped it out via a service that all of us know, and somebody decided to grab them and take them. How does that happen? Now, you hear this story and you're like, this can't be. I mean, is this for ratings? Is this a setup? Is he saying that this happened, but it really didn't happen? I doubt. I don't believe that Tucker Carlson has any reason to fake something like this in order to get ratings. He's telling us all about this story, and he's getting the ratings anyway. He's been getting it just being who he is and doing the job that he's doing. So if you're trying to make this about a conspiracy theory on that side, you might have trouble convincing people. But on the other side, I think the big story here is this. Certainly that they're missing. And if true, how did anyone know that this was in transit? All the things that are shipped each and every day from locations all across the globe, and somehow, some way, this particular package was noticed, was recognized. They knew this. How is that? How's that? Someone said Chris Wallace took them. Easy. But on the other side is something that I talked to my wife about last night when I saw this and heard the story, and we had this conversation. Do you realize how much has changed in 4 years? Do you realize how much has changed since Donald Trump came down that golden escalator? Do you realize how conspiracy theories, quote unquote, turn out to be facts? Do you understand that the federal government was weaponized against an American citizen? We know that for a fact now. We know that corruption exists. It's starting to feel more and more like the FBI had this laptop in their possession. It feels more and more like people in U.S. intelligence not only had this in their hands, but knew exactly what was in it and didn't say one single word about it. And why do you suppose that's the case? Well, if you're a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hat kind of guy, gal, you might want to make the case that, man, I'll tell you what, if you've got all this information in your hands and you know that Joe Biden will be the president of the United States one day, or someone really close to him might have a connection to the presidency, oh boy, it'd be interesting to have all of that in your possession and know what's in there and be able to hold it. I don't know. I hate to say blackmail. Man, there is something going on here. All right, we're going to play the audio from Tucker Carlson's show last night and let you hear more about these purported audio recordings from family business partners of the Bidens, and talking about how if the story got into the media, it would blow up a lot of things big time, quote unquote. Plus, we'll get into also big tech, Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg saying, listen, nothing to see here. We don't censor anybody. I don't know. Is it, it's like Jack Dorsey's beard goes, Bloop. It's like a Pinocchio thing. No, we don't censor. Bloop. If you're watching on YouTube, you see what I'm doing. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
There's a travel advisory on Alligator Alley between mile markers 94 to 77. If you're heading over to the East Coast, it is very foggy, so make sure to use the low beams as well as watch the following distance. Also, a crash in Lehigh at Alabama and State Road 82. Southbound delays on Alabama. About 1 mile of slow traffic heading south towards 82. So Sunshine is a great alternate if you want to avoid the crash. And slowdowns on Marsh Avenue heading north towards Palm Beach Boulevard if you're in Fort Myers. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Thursday, 89 degrees, very warm and humid with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Can't rule out a few quick passing showers, but overall pretty limited. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A sell-off on Wall Street as the number of rising COVID infections rattles investor confidence in the global economic recovery. All three major benchmark indexes diving more than 3% yesterday. The Dow plunged 943 points, its worst day since mid-June. The Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series, but they lost a ton of money. The New York Post reports the team lost about $125 million this pandemic-affected season. No comment from the Dodgers. Also in sports business, tech entrepreneur Ryan Smith agrees to buy the Utah Jazz.
I grew up watching the Jazz. This is the team I've cheered for.
If approved, Smith will buy the team and arena for nearly $1.7 billion. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
Today, everyone is expecting you to maintain a new level of clean, from customers and employees to students and staff. Cintas has the essential products and services to help you carry out cleaning protocols effectively. We'll keep you well stocked with cleaning supplies, professionally laundered uniforms, and other essentials like face masks, hand sanitizer, and thermometers. Give everyone the confidence they need to keep coming back. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Join First Assembly of God Church in Fort Myers this Saturday at 10 a.m., featuring special guests Dr. Beth and David Grant, founders of Project Rescue, an international organization helping victims of sex trafficking. Hear how the pandemic has miraculously opened new avenues of opportunity in rescuing little girls and women out of sexual slavery. This free public event being held at 10 a.m. this Saturday, October 31st at First Assembly of God Church in Fort Myers at the corner of Summerlin Road and Colonial Boulevard.
With mail-in ballots, the state was feeling blue. With early voting, it's seen red. What does that mean? People care this year more than ever. And because you care, we're here. Democrat or Republican, this election is about you. Trust Wink News Campaign Central to be there, from the candidate's final push to the ballots being cast to reporting the issues that matter to you. Whether it's the local races, amendments, or presidential decision, we'll talk to you, not at you. With perspective, not posturing. Trust Wink News Campaign Central.
Chuck is back.
That means it's time. It's time.
It's time.
In order to stop the world from ending.
Come on, man. Does any of this feel right to you? It doesn't matter how we feel.
Dudes, chill. Find the guy who was there at the very beginning.
I'm Adam. You know, God's primo. First dude off the assembly line.
All right, let's get this party started.
Awesome.
Supernatural followed by The Outpost. All new tonight on the CW.
Tonight starting at 8 on WXCW.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and have I told you about Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting? I know I have, because, well, number one, I've used them on multiple occasions. I've had a few moves lately, and each and every time had them at my home. They're fantastic. I love the staff. They are the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars. But here's another thing to consider. What about a kitchen, a bath, an entire home that you want remodeled? They have teams and resources ready right now to walk you through the process. So they can turn your dreams into reality. I should know because they did exactly that for me and my wife. I could not be happier. The communication, the friendliness of the staff, the fact that they've been around since 2001, and the difference that they can make, whether it is something like painting a bathroom and especially kitchen and bath remodels. So call them today, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, 239-431-2781, and find out what they can do for you and the incredible work that they do for yourself. 239-431-2781 for Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, my shower door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myShowerDoor.com.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A man accused of using personal information and stealing from unemployment is now behind bars. The FBI says they arrested Alan Bienemy in Fort Lauderdale. The Lehigh Acres man is accused of taking people's information from other states and then filing false unemployment applications. Men and women behind the largest elder fraud scheme in the nation are facing charges, and several live here in Southwest Florida. Over the last 20 years, 150,000 seniors nationwide received telemarketing calls that cost them a total of $300 million. Those men and women pose as magazine sales companies, convinced seniors they could reduce their monthly costs on their existing subscriptions or even cancel their subscription for a fee. Another classroom at an elementary school is in quarantine. The Lee County School District says the classroom at Bonita Springs Elementary is in quarantine for 14 days because of COVID-19. The district says this is the 3rd classroom this year. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
There's a travel advisory on Alligator Alley between mile markers 94 to 77. If you're heading over to the East Coast, it is very foggy, so make sure to use the low beams as well as watch the following distance. Also, a crash in Lehigh at Alabama and State Road 82. Southbound delays on Alabama. About 1 mile of slow traffic heading south towards 82. So sunshine is a great alternate if you want to avoid the crash. And slowdowns on Marsh Avenue heading north towards Palm Beach Boulevard if you're in Fort Myers. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. Thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. That's right, all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. There's only one Kobe Cooling in the whole world. We're the original Kobe Cooling. The only Kobe Cooling. That's KOBIE KOOLING at 239-482-1542. If you want real NATE certified mechanics with real training and real credentials, Kobe Cooling is your only choice. 100% NATE certified mechanics at your home to give you the best possible trained expert to handle your AC need. It doesn't make us perfect, but it does give you, our customers, the best available mechanic in this business. If you're not using a NATE certified mechanic at your home, you're missing out on the best. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, and always NATE certified.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who will be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours, too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
Over the last 4 years, conservatives like Bob Rommel worked hard to create jobs and world-class schools and preserve our quality of life. But America is under attack by the radical left. If they win, we will face higher taxes, a weak economy, and courts filled with judges who don't respect our religious liberty or the Second Amendment. That's why we need Bob Rommel, a Reagan conservative we can trust.
Paid by Bob Rommel, Republican for state representative.
Son, get in the car.
No, Dad, not your car. It smells horrid and it looks awful. I'm scared, Dad. I'm really scared.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers will get you out of your scary old car and into a 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease for just $49 per month. Yes, $49 a month for a new car. We've got to sell so many new Kias, it's scary. So we've slashed our prices to the bone. New 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Select models with interest-free financing for 75 months. Is your credit dreadful? Galliana Kia isn't afraid of your bad credit. 2020 Kia Rio, $13,990. New Kia Fortes, $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 US Sunny plus tax title dealer and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month 5th.
Dear Mr. President, we're proud of all you've done for our cherished country and for all Americans. United we'll prevail, we'll stand with you as one. Our 2020 victory, we love you, Donald Trump.
Well, let's go, everybody. We'll vote and make our stand and pledge to keep all people safe across our sacred land. We'll vote America strong, keep our nation free. We'll stand and elect to keep our rights and march to victory. Together we'll make America great again. We'll make America great.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Soundcheck Studio, 1635 Jackson Street, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901, independently of any candidate. This advertisement was not approved by any candidate.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steve.
Home Depot would like to thank you for buying our $299 12-foot tall yard skeleton with lifelike eyes. It was a big seller. Oh, we forgot to tell you about the added bonus. The day
after Halloween, the eyes will turn demon red, and all the skeletons will rise up, marching through town, annihilating civilization, and renaming Earth Home Planet Depot. Thanks again for shopping Home Depot.
Okay. Have you seen these 12-foot ginormous skeletons? Have you seen one of these? Have you seen one of them?
I have not, no.
There's one in my neighborhood. When you drive through my neighborhood, there's a guy who's got this 12-foot skeleton. It's ginormous. It is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. And you got to really love Halloween to spend $300 on one single item out in front of your house. It's I got to be honest, it's cool. It's cool, but it's weird and it's big and it's creepy and I guess if you really want to be noticed, that's what you do. You get a 12-foot.
Can't miss it.
You have to see it. Maybe I'm on an island. Has anybody else? Has anybody seen this thing? 239-479-5592. Not that big a deal. All right. Going to get to your calls. Mike and Steve and David in Naples. We'll get to your calls in just a second. Text the word VOTE to 239-479-5592 if you would like to. Maybe you're going out today or tomorrow, or you'll be out there on election day. You're going to vote and you're not sure about a couple of races, maybe locally or the amendments or judges. Well, I've got that sheet that I created for you of my picks. So just text the word VOTE now and we'll send it to you post haste. Is that right? I think that's the way you say it. Also, we're going to get to this story coming up in just a second. The tech giants, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey from Twitter, being questioned by the Senate. We're concerned about your blackmail operation, as put by the New York Post. But you won't see it anywhere on Twitter, apparently, because they censor. That's what they do. They censor anything that you want to talk about when it comes to things that have to do with maybe the big tech guys being in trouble, or maybe the Bidens being in trouble as well. We want to keep that away from.
We choose truth over facts.
You better believe you do. So, big tech out and about yesterday. Twitter, Jack Dorsey and his beautiful beard. There's got to be something living in that beard. If you haven't seen a picture of it, I don't know, just go on the interwebs. It's probably out there for everybody to see. But the big questions become, are you censoring conservatives? Are you censoring the president? Are you censoring others in the same way? As a matter of fact, when it comes to the New York Post and the fact that they have not been able to put a major newspaper in this country that is hundreds of years old, a major newspaper not allowed to post anything on Twitter because they dare have information about Hunter Biden, the laptop, emails, the fact that they're in bad business with the Chinese government and Russia and monies. And you can't say that. We'll be the arbiters of what we think is true and is not. And Senator Ron Johnson is talking to Jack Dorsey yesterday about this and is like, wait a minute, we're hearing Russian disinformation. You're telling everybody it's not true. We're fact checking. Where's your proof?
For both Mr. Zuckerberg and Dorsey, who censored New York Post stories or throttled them back, do either one of you have any evidence that the New York Post story is part of Russian disinformation, or that those emails aren't authentic? Do any of you have any information whatsoever they're not authentic, or that they are Russian disinformation? Mr. Dorsey.
We don't.
Yeah, you don't. You don't have any. But yet you decided that you were going to stop the New York Post from being able to post this on Twitter and others to retweet it because what? It's almost as if you don't want people to read it. And what else? Mike Lee. We just love to know. Is there one Democrat that has been censored the way Republicans have been censored? He's talking about.
But I don't see this suppression of high-profile liberal commentators.
Yeah.
So, for example, have you ever censored a Democratic senator? How about President Obama? How about a Democratic presidential candidate? How about Planned Parenthood or NARAL or Emily's List? So, Mr. Zuckerberg, Mr. Dorsey, and Mr. Pichai, can any of you, and let's go in that order, Zuckerberg, Dorsey, and then Pichai, can you name for me one high-profile person or entity from a liberal ideology who you have censored and what particular action you took?
Just one.
Senator, I can get you a list of some more of this, but there are certainly many examples that your Democratic colleagues object to when a fact checker might label something as false that they disagree with, or they're not able to.
I get that. I get that. I just want to be clear. I'm just asking you if you can name for me one high-profile liberal person or company who you've censored. I understand that you're saying that there are complaints on both sides, but I just want one name of one person or one entity.
Just one. Here's your answer. They don't have one. Mark Zuckerberg cannot name one, but he'll be sure to get back to you on this. We'll have a trove of information on that. No, you won't. No, you don't. Mike Lee knows the truth. You know the truth. What about Jack Dorsey?
Senator, I need to think about it and get you more of a list, but there are
okay. He's still on Mark Zuckerberg. We're going to get you more of a list, but
certainly many issues on both sides of the aisle where people think we are making content moderation decisions that they disagree with.
No. Well, hold on a second. Content moderation. That's not what Mike Lee asked. He didn't ask about content moderation because those on the left are saying something completely different. Here's Mark Zuckerberg with the very clever spin of Mike Lee's question. I want to know the Democrat senator, the president, the Joe Biden. I want to know the specific Democrat liberal ideology that is censored from your from Facebook or Twitter, and you can't tell me because it doesn't exist, and you know it. But you spin it to make it sound like the Democrats have the same kind of problem. No. Well, let me put it this way. They have the same kind of problem as Republicans do. They're complaining. That's the problem. The issue is different. The complaint is still there. But the issue is quite something else. What am I talking about? Here's Democrat Senator Rosen, who is asking the question of the same people, Jack Dorsey from Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. But I want you to listen to what she says about what they're doing and follow this.
I want to focus a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Dorsey, on algorithms, because my colleagues and the majority have called this hearing in order to argue that you're doing too much to stop the spread of disinformation, conspiracy theories, and hate speech on your platforms. I'm here to tell you that you are not doing enough.
She's saying you're not doing enough. So her complaint is not you're stifling my free speech or Democrats' free speech or censorship against Democrats. Her problem is she thinks they're not doing enough. So when Mark Zuckerberg starts to spin this web of deceit, when he starts to spin this around to make it sound as if they are in the same, that they're all in the same boat. The Democrats are complaining too. No. Democrats are not complaining that they're being censored. They're complaining that there's not enough censorship against you, against conservatives, against Republicans. It's just outrageous how they get away with this.
I got that, and I think everybody on this call could agree that they could identify at least 5, maybe 10, maybe more high-profile conservative examples. What about you, Mr. Dorsey?
Well, we can give a more exhaustive list.
Yeah.
But again, we don't have an understanding of political ideology of our accounts. But
I'm not asking for an exhaustive list. I'm asking for a single example.
One.
Just one individual, one entity, anyone.
One.
We've taken action on tweets from members of the House for election misinfo.
Can you identify any example?
Yes, with two Democratic Congress people on election.
What are their names?
I'll get those names.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get those names. Yeah, okay, right. You don't know who they were? You knew you were going to be asked this question because they're lying. They're lying. Danny's in Fort Myers. Hey, Danny.
Hey, I brought this up before in the past. I spoke with you. This is the problem right here, man. Why are we complaining about these tech companies that we know don't like us? Like, this is a joke to bring these people up and say, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? We know they're not going to. So, because
well, wait.
Where's all the money? Where's all the money with the Republicans starting their own version of Twitter, their own version of Facebook?
Well, there is.
Like we're helpless.
Well, here's the thing. You don't want these social media sites to be political. The difference, Danny, two things to mention to you. Number one, the difference between what Twitter and Facebook is doing. Well, wait. But Danny, listen. Danny, Parler exists. It is a Twitter alternative. A lot of people have gone to Parler. Parler does not do what Twitter does.
Never heard Sean Hannity talk about it. Never heard Rush Limbaugh talk about it. I haven't heard it talked about it.
They're all on it. They're all on the platform. They're on Parler.
Where's the commercials? Where's the advertisements on YouTube?
They don't have they don't have the same. I just said, dude. I'm so sorry. I talked to my son that way. They don't have the same budget. They'll get there. But the idea that there's no,
I don't believe that we're helpless. I just feel like there's more of a desire to be this victim.
No, there's more of a desire. Well, let me stop, Danny, because there's more of a desire for the American public to see what's happening and put it on display than for Republicans to say it all the time, and then the media pulls it and say, "Oh, it's ridiculous. How dare they say something? You don't have any evidence that this is happening." And then when you put it on display,
is Trump on Twitter or is he on Parler?
He's not on Parler yet. Do you want to know why he's not on Parler? You have to ask him. I don't know why he's not on Parler yet.
Why do we sit back like we have no control, and we're sitting here victims of this Democrat oppression? We're going along with it.
Well, I agree. I agree with you.
The media has overtaken the Republican Party because we've sat back and let them do it.
Well, I agree with you on this, that that Republicans have to be tough and have to continue to call out when they see things that are wrong.
But it's like a cat chasing his tail, man.
Yeah, but
this stuff has happened for decades. But
disgusting. Danny, do you think? Well, let me ask.
Money is there.
All right, Danny, shh, listen to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's not talk over each other. Let's have a conversation. Let me ask you this question: do you want a Republican alternative to Twitter, or do you want an open platform for places for people to put out their thoughts and their beliefs? And
the insidious corruption that is always going to be there from these Democrats are going to strangle this country unless we start to push back. If you're asking for fairness from these people,
no, I'm not, happen. Danny. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I understand your passion. I appreciate your passion. We all have the same passion that you do. We want fighters. That's why we vote for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is a fighter. We understand that. And we appreciate when Republicans come along and actually decide to fight as opposed to cower. But I'm asking you a specific question because there's an end to this that I'm trying to get to. Do you want a Republican alternative to Twitter, or do you want an open platform where people can express their beliefs no matter what it is?
Drew, this is what I want.
Well, Danny, I'm giving you two choices. I'm giving you two choices. This is important. This is so important. We've got to focus on this. Do you want a Republican alternative, or do you want an open platform?
It's not going to exist. Like
okay. All right. Well, I've tried. I tried, Danny. I desperately tried. We don't want a Republican alternative. We want an open platform where people can express what they think, what they believe, we don't want to stifle anybody's speech. That is what's so critical here. And we're missing that point. And it's not a good thing. In our anger and the fact that we are upset about what places like Facebook and Twitter are doing, and we see it, not only do we have to call it out so all of the American people see exactly what's going on so they don't say, oh, this is a conspiracy theory, it's the Republicans, but we also have to be open to allowing people to speak whatever they think and feel, even on this program, and to have a debate of ideas and ideology, and to not shut people down no matter what they say, even if it's dumb. Because when you open those avenues, you get to call it out, and then people get to see, and then they get on to join you because they see what it is you're explaining to people, as opposed to shutting it down so that people don't even have a chance to debate and discuss. That's not who we are. It's not who I am, at least. All right. We went long. Look at us. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Thanksgiving will be here before you know it, and if California Governor Gavin Newsom gets his way, it'll be a Thanksgiving that you and your family, your friends will never, ever forget. Governor Newsom and the California Department of Public Health have issued new regulations that'll determine how citizens are permitted to celebrate Thanksgiving. Every single Thanksgiving gathering held in California must include no more than 3 households. That's because Governor Newsom and his state health bureaucrats have determined that if people from more than 3 different households gather, the increased chances of transmitting COVID are too high to risk. California residents must also hear, learn, and obey the following. Governor Newsom says that his subjects must wear masks in the house before and after they eat, and residents should avoid singing and chanting and shouting. So you have to show up with a mask, you have to leave it on until you eat, and then after you eat, you put it back on, and shut your pie hole until the Thanksgiving celebration is over, by order of the great Governor Gavin Maximus Caesar Newsom, the one true ruler of California and all of its provinces. So hail Newsom! All of you California subjects need to bow down and be thankful that Newsom, the generous and magnificent, has allowed Thanksgiving to happen at all. More than 75% of identity theft victims who had accounts opened in their name did not find out that they had been victimized from their bank or credit card company. Don't be like them. Get LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock sees certain threats that you could miss if you're only monitoring your credit and bank statements. Plus, if you are a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock looks out for you. They constantly monitor transactions in the billions each week, looking for evidence your identity's been stolen and is being used without your permission. Join LifeLock now. Save 25% off your first year. Call 800-440-4833. Go to LifeLock.com. Use my name, Rush, as the promo code. That's LifeLock.com, promo code RUSH, for 25% off.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
With mail-in ballots, the state was feeling blue. With early voting, it's seeing red. What does that mean? People care this year more than ever. And because you care, we're here. Democrat or Republican, this election is about you. Trust Wink News Campaign Central to be there, from the candidate's final push to the ballots being cast to reporting the issues that matter to you. Whether it's the local races, amendments, or presidential decision, we'll talk to you, not at you. With perspective, not posturing. Trust Wink News Campaign Central.
Next, Rachel.
That scared me, though. Did it scare you?
Have a smashing good time.
I'm using Pappardelle because I have it in my pantry.
Cooking Rachel's latest make-your-own takeout.
You're not going to get that out of a box, right?
Then,
when I feel a cold coming on, I load up on vitamin C and D. Does that really work?
How does Dr. Ian weather the dreaded cold and flu season?
Strawberries have more vitamin C than oranges. People don't know that.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
This is a conservative alert.
Amendment 3 is dangerous. Liberals hate that conservatives lead Florida's legislature. Even with Barack Obama's help, liberals could not take back legislative seats. Amendment 3 is their new scheme. It allows even supporters of socialists like Bernie Sanders to vote against conservatives in primaries. Stop the scheme. Vote no on Amendment 3. Paid electioneering communication paid for by Save My Constitution. 1700 North Monroe Street, Suite 11253, Tallahassee, Florida 32303.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Voter fraud targets our state's top leader. Investigators say Anthony Guevara changed the governor's address on his voter registration by using simple information online that someone could take right off your Facebook page. In Guevara's search history, investigators found the Department of State website and voter information lookup page. That's how he was able to change Governor Ron DeSantis' address to an address in West Palm Beach. The Secretary of State says this was not a breach in their system. They were able to fix it so the governor was still able to vote. Court documents show the state and defense worked out an agreement to allow a Cape Coral police officer to enter into diversion after a hit and run. Investigators say surveillance video shows that officer, who works undercover, back his truck into a car in a parking lot. Then they say he got out to look at that damage, went into the hotel, and then came back and left. They're expected back in court November 17th. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
That morning rush is underway around Southwest Florida. There is busy traffic on 6 Mile heading westbound towards US 41. Also delays in Fort Myers on Davis Road heading southbound from Iona towards McGregor Boulevard. Nice commute, though, on the Sanibel Causeway as well as the Matanzas Pass Bridge. If you're heading into Fort Myers Beach, it's only a 2-minute commute right now. I-75 is still up to speed as well, heading to and from Lee and Collier. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. Thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Trust Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything. Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show. Come out, wherever you are. We're ghost hunting in our studio, and it's crazy. Oh my God! And Anne Hathaway. Plus our Halloween parade of Bachelor bears and kitties both need good homes. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow. We at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening.
Sure.
Who's able to hear more than what's being said and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Walgreens has always been pharmacy.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate it. We always appreciate the great Mark Lauder, who is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, Director of Strategic Communications with the Trump campaign. It's Drew Steele. Good morning, sir. It's great to hear from you again. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you, Drew?
We are doing fantastic. We're excited. The state of Florida is excited. Want to get a little into what is happening here and across the country as we get closer and closer to Election Day. A couple of things I wanted to ask, some audio I wanted to play as well. Get your thoughts on some issues that are out there. One in particular, Let me ask you this, Mark Lauder. Is it possible to be an anonymous source when it comes to something that has to do with the New York Times and something ridiculous going against the president of the United States, when you yourself as a human being seem to be pretty anonymous?
Yeah, it's really remarkable when you look at that. I mean, it's really just another abject failure of journalism at the New York Times. I mean, this is a guy that we had the deputy White House press secretary, Hogan Gidley, said he had to look him up. There were many people. I mean, nobody. I mean, how could you be a senior staffer if nobody knows who you are?
Just so you know, the 2018, the New York Times comes out again and says, we got a piece, we got a big one. It's a senior official in the Trump administration. And going in and talking down about the president. And this is somebody that's really high up. And meanwhile, we come to find out he's like it's like an REO Speedwagon song. It's like I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend. And the friend, nobody even knows who this person is. It's pretty ridiculous, but par for the course for what the media has been trying to do to this president.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from day one, and even really just from the time he was elected, they have been out to get him.
Yep.
They've been out to sabotage him. Excuse me. And when you see that 94% of the news is negative, it tells you all you need to know.
Yep. Yeah, it has been it's been horrible what the media has been trying to do to this president since day one. And, we even we kind of talk about this anonymous, and now we find out who it is. And now we realize how he lied right on CNN to the American people's face about whether he knew. It was just all of that is just horrible. But then we really get to some of what is important as well, which is what we witnessed yesterday in the Senate and big tech. And, I'm concerned about this. I really am. How the censorship issue is not front and center. I mean, certainly when we talk about Hunter Biden and the issues with laptops and emails and the connections with Joe Biden and China, and it's getting worse and worse by the day, and how the American people need to hear this. They can decide for themselves with the evidence, but yet you've got big tech saying, no, we're not even going to allow this to be out there. That's a big issue.
It really is. When you have basically, it's not freedom of the press, it's censoring of the press.
Yeah.
It's suppression, as the president said, suppression of the press. And who are they to make the decision what news the American people can see and consume from themselves?
Right. Yeah. I understand it because I know, and we all know whose side tech is on, whose side they've been on, and the concerns that many have had. But now we get to really the bread and butter here, which is, does it have an effect? Are the American people looking and seeing or not seeing, if you will, and making a decision on a media that clearly is biased? Or strategically, are people looking and going, you know what? It's tangible. What the president has been able to do in my life is tangible. I know what life pre-pandemic was like. I know how things are coming back now. Are the numbers across the country showing up that way? Do you see that?
I do see that a lot of that, that we're looking very good. We're looking better than we did in 2016 at this point. And we've got work to do still, of course. We've got to make sure everybody gets out and votes. But when they do, and when they do, as the vice president likes to say, let friends vote alone. So bring some.
Right.
If you get your votes out, then this president will be reelected.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do believe that, and I'm feeling more and more each and every day confident about the state of Florida as we start to see some of what maybe you recognize as well. Are you seeing as well that these early votes for Democrats, they're just underperforming, they're not coming in? Is that what you see?
Yes, and we're seeing it more than just Florida. We're seeing it in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and other places. Democrats, rightfully so, are panicked. Because they know their early vote lead, which they usually build up, is not materializing like it has before. And they also know that they can see the same data that we see. When the president has these rallies, and he's been all over Florida, all over the battleground states, we're getting tens of thousands of people, and 20 to 30% of them didn't vote in 2016. 20 to 25% of them aren't even registered Republicans. They're Democrats and independents. And so when we get those numbers and they see that that's what we're drawing, they know he's got crossover appeal. And that's also a reason why it's killing their early vote, because they don't even know who to turn out.
Yeah, I guess, I'm hearing numbers, interesting numbers out of Broward right now, the Democrat stronghold in the state of Florida, and they're not looking very good for Democrats. There are real questions in specific areas around the state as to whether or not there is the outcome, the push by Democrats that are at, and not only that, but specifically when we hear about Democrats who are going out and voting in these very blue areas of the state of Florida, we're also hearing that some of those Democrats, to your point, aren't exactly voting Democrat. They're not going out to vote for Joe Biden. But quite the contrary. They see what is going on to what we talked about earlier, and they realize what is happening and what is tangible, and they're worried about socialism. They recognize what that word means. And they don't like what they see. And I wonder if you hear that as well.
We do see that, and we're hearing it. And, I hear it every time I go on the road. People come up to me and they're like, they're traditionally Democrat, but they're like, I don't recognize the party anymore.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party of my parents and grandparents is gone. It's been hijacked by the squad.
Yeah.
It's been hijacked by the people who are rioting and looting and destroying our cities, and who hijacked by people who are calling police the enemy.
Right.
That's not what they stood for.
Yeah. And I hope that that is resonating in a positive way for Republicans and this president and for the American people, because it does make a difference in what their daily life will be like. We're not just talking about, the safety and security on our streets, which of course is of importance to everyone, but also economically speaking, we have, and maybe you can speak to this as well, we have a Democrat candidate who is willing, again, to shut down this economy because of this virus, that instead of talking about science and data and the things that we should be looking at and what actually is happening in therapeutics and the way we approach this virus, here you have Joe Biden, who is suggesting, once again, are we going to do this? Are we going to shut down the country? Are we really talking about this? And they are.
And that's one of the things really that I think is really resonating with the people is the positive outlook from the president that we can do more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
We're America.
Yeah.
We can be safe. We can protect the vulnerable, and we can be open. We can get back to work. We can get back to school. We've made so much progress. Now's not the time to lock it down and go back into the basement like Joe Biden wants to do. And so why are we looking at that negativity? We can let's do more than one thing at a time. It's not either or.
Yeah, it is something that we should continue to focus on. I know a lot of people in this audience and across the state of Florida realize that as well. We know the great job that this governor has been able to do in this state. And again, it's about something that's tangible that people can realize and for themselves. Mark Lauder joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Hey, before we go, I'm just going to play this little clip of audio and ask you a quick question if you don't mind. Here, listen to this.
We'll be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. Maybe we'll make that a woman too. Maybe we should make that a woman too. What do you think, Michael? He said, make it Nancy Pelosi. That's...
Mark Lauder, can we get that done? Can we get that done? Can you speak to the president and make sure that we can get this done? Because my audience is excited about that possibility.
I love the idea of landing a person on Mars and making it a woman, but I don't want Nancy Pelosi to live in for history that way. We could just vote her out.
Yeah, I guess that's and plus, if she brings other Democrats along, we'd hate the idea that Mars would be populated by the left. I mean, we'd hate that Mars
would become the red planet.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Okay, there you go. All right, we're working on that. All right, Mark Lauder, listen, I appreciate a few minutes of your time. Director of Strategic Communications for the Trump campaign. There's a lot to be excited about. Days away, and I can tell you Southwest Florida and the state of Florida, we are ready to go, and we are ready to get out there and vote Trump. So it's an exciting time. Thanks so much for a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Drew.
All right, there he goes. Hey, listen, let's send Nancy Pelosi to Mars, or out of her present position. That would be another way of doing it. All right. 239-479-5592. We'll get to your calls coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. Let's find out what's going on with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash of Veronica Shoemaker and MLK Boulevard is slowing traffic on Veronica heading south to MLK, so you can't avoid this if you hop on Michigan Avenue. Lehigh Acres, the crash at Gunnery and Lee Boulevard is slowing traffic for about 1 mile heading southbound on Gunnery to Lee, as well as delays on Lee heading west. If you're heading through this area, give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Thursday, 89 degrees, very warm and humid with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Can't rule out a few quick passing showers, but overall pretty limited. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
With mail-in ballots, the state was feeling blue. With early voting, it's seeing red. What does that mean? People care this year more than ever. And because you care, we're here. Democrat or Republican, this election is about you. Trust Wink News Campaign Central to be there, from the candidate's final push to the ballots being cast to reporting the issues that matter to you. Whether it's the local races, amendments, or presidential decision, we'll talk to you, not at you. With perspective, not posturing. Trust Wink News, Campaign Central.
Chuck is back.
That means it's time. It's time.
It's time.
In order to stop the world from ending.
Come on, man. Does any of this feel right to you? It doesn't matter how we feel.
Dudes, chill.
Find the guy who was there at the very beginning.
I'm Adam. You know, God's primo. First dude off the assembly line.
All right, let's get this party started.
Awesome.
Supernatural followed by The Outpost, only tonight on the CW.
Tonight starting at 8 on WXCW.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network can help. Tim has helped countless individuals and families here in the Fort Myers area save 30 to 60% on health insurance with super coverage. Tim recently saved a family of 4 $800 a month on their health insurance with a lower deductible. If you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or paying extreme rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, Tim will help you understand your options. If you meet the flexible guidelines for coverage, Health Plan Network will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to healthplannetwork.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call Tim, an expert with 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. A premium personalized plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. In just a few days, you'll cast your vote to shape the future of this exceptional nation, which has produced the most powerful, the most prosperous, and the most egalitarian civilization in the history of the world. It took us 244 years to build it, but it can be torn down in only a fraction of that time by the enemies of liberty. But they will not win, because anger is not a campaign platform. Class envy is not a policy position. Burning down businesses is not economic equality, and assassinating police officers is not social justice. This is Spencer Roach, and my platform is simple. I believe in freedom, security, and prosperity, and I'm prepared to defend it at any cost. Because this election is not about Republicans versus Democrats. It's not insiders versus outsiders. This election is about Marxists versus Americans. This is Spencer Roach, and on November 3rd, I hope you'll join me in standing up for America, because freedom is worth fighting for. Paid by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
Have you been to Burlington lately? They have incredible deals on amazing brands and styles at up to 60% off other retailers' prices. No coupons or sales, just fabulous values every single day. It's a treasure hunt with new bargains always arriving and savings that'll surprise you. At Burlington, you get more for less. From seasonal style to cozying up your home, this is your one-stop shop for fall. Go to burlington.com to find your store. Burlington, love the deals.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. Let me say it again, 239-479-5592. You can text the word vote right now to that number, and you can get my election picks 2020 if maybe you want to find out more about amendments and judges, or maybe even some local races that you haven't thought about and you're getting ready to vote today or coming up soon. All right, speaking of voting, Steve's been holding patiently. Steve, are you in Michigan? Are you from Michigan? Do you just like Michigan?
No, I'm in Michigan. I've got a place down in Punta Gorda, so I listen to you when I'm here.
Well, I appreciate that. What's on your mind, Steve?
Hey, two things. First of all, when we talk about early voting and the number of Democrats voting and we're only going by the envelopes, the Democrat envelopes or Republican envelopes, correct?
Yeah, we're talking about Democrats versus Republicans. How many? Yes. Certainly we don't know what's in it, yeah.
Right. So we know from these Trump rallies and other stuff that 10, 20, even more percent are Democrats. So even if Democrats have a larger number coming in early, a lot of those are going to be Trump votes on top of the Republican votes.
Yeah, there should be some. Now, there is the talk of both sides, right, Steve? You have some people on the Democrat side saying, well, hold on, how many Republicans are peeling off and going out to vote and will vote for Joe Biden because they're never Trumpers? Well, I might make the case that there's probably more people that are Democrats that are going to vote against Joe Biden than that are registered Republicans going to vote for Joe Biden. So, so that remains to be seen, but that is something to look at. Sure.
The other thing I was going to say is all this focus that we keep hearing on is battleground states, how close we are in battleground states. No one talks to all the traditional blue states, which I think they're being overlooked. And I think people are going to be surprised that some of those states are going to go red for Trump.
Did you have a state in mind, Steve? Which state are you thinking about?
Well,
how are things in Michigan? I might ask you that. How are things in Michigan right now?
Solid Trump.
You think so, huh?
Yep. This governor has knocked a lot of Democrats over and that's what's happening too. When you talk about the young vote, maybe normally they would go Democrat, but all these shutdowns in these, especially blue states, are pushing people towards Trump. And California, I'm going to make a prediction. California is going to go Trump.
Oh, wow. Well, that's quite the prediction.
That's a big, but the reason I say that is several things. One, Trump has increased the Hispanic and black vote, and that's the LA, that's the city areas in California that generally push everything, because the rest, Northern and Central California, are always conservative, but they always lose it because of San Francisco, the city areas.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Listen, thanks for the call, Steve. I appreciate it. Boy, that would be something, wouldn't it?
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's True Steel, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. Now, whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Customers have said they thought our trade-in offer here at Naples Nissan was too good to be true. So, before they drove their new Nissan home, we asked a few of them to share their story.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Fort Myers. My 2012 Honda CR-V had about 75,000 miles on it. I was finally ready to upgrade, so I went to some local dealers here in Fort Myers to see how much I can get for it. But no one can offer me the original MSRP like Naples Nissan. The 30-minute drive was so worth it. I got just over 17 grand and can't wait to drive home in my brand new Rogue. Finally, my car has Bluetooth.
If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, come get the full base MSRP for it and drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Only at Naples Nissan. Full details at naplesnissan.com. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company. But all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tile roof inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tile roof inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tile roof inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 5 days to go. Joe Biden campaigns in Florida today. President Trump has events in Florida and North Carolina. He tells supporters in Phoenix, Arizona.
The vote for me is a vote for massive middle-class tax cuts, regulation cuts, fair trade, strong borders.
We can't afford 4 more years of Donald Trump. And the good news is we have a chance to turn this around by voting.
Biden there in Wilmington, Delaware, where he and his wife Jill joined the more than 73 million Americans who voted early. 3 people are killed in a knife attack at a church in Nice, France.
A woman was beheaded. It's being treated as terrorism. A man has been arrested and is in the hospital. The mayor of Nice says the suspect repeatedly shouted, in Arabic, "God is great." It comes less than 2 weeks after a teacher was beheaded near Paris after he showed his class cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad.
Fox's Simon Owen. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Voter fraud targets our state's top leader. Investigators say Anthony Guevara changed the governor's address on his voter registration by using simple information online that someone could take right off your Facebook page. In Guevara's search history, investigators found the Department of State website and voter information lookup page. That's how he was able to change Governor Ron DeSantis' address to an address in West Palm Beach. The Secretary of State says this was not a breach in their system. They were able to fix it so the governor was still able to vote. Court documents show the state and defense worked out an agreement to allow a Cape Coral police officer to enter into diversion after a hit and run. Investigators say surveillance video shows that officer, who works undercover, back his truck into a car in a parking lot. Then they say he got out to look at that damage, went into the hotel, and then came back and left. They're expected back in court November 17th. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
The crash at Veronica Shoemaker and MLK Boulevard is slowing traffic on Veronica heading south to MLK, so you can't avoid this if you hop on Michigan Avenue. Lehigh Acres, the crash at Gunnery and Lee Boulevard is slowing traffic for about 1 mile heading southbound on Gunnery to Lee, as well as delays on Lee heading west. If you're heading through this area, give yourself lots of extra time. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1-HOUR.
Hey, it's Jake Demolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake DeMolino for AMCO Bonita Springs.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. If you want to text the word vote, you can get my election picks 2020, judges, amendments, local races, state races. People have been asking, they've been emailing, so all right, some of the bigger races are there. Text the word vote now to 239-479-5592. Coming up in 10 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Have a little bit of fun with you coming up. We'll talk more about big tech and censorship and senators asking a whole lot of important questions and where that went yesterday. And then, of course, the latest from the Hunter Biden emails and Tucker Carlson on his program yesterday saying, hey, just to let you guys know, apparently we delivered some documents from New York to where we were in L.A. to as we were doing this interview with Tony Bobulinski. and the documents disappeared. Confidential documents disappearing related to the Biden family. They've vanished, have they? All right, we'll play that audio and we'll get to that story coming up in a bit. This is an important story. What exactly is happening here in the state of Florida? What do we look like right now? And let's get to some of the details, some of the numbers across the state. Our good friend Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com, is joining us right now. It's been way too long, but he's back and he's feeling good because it's election season in Florida. And actually, it's a little crazy. Hi.
Hey, Drew, how are you? It is a little crazy.
Yeah, it's sometimes, we touch on issues during a session and we talk about what's going on in Tallahassee and we like to touch on all of those issues. And then we get to the election season and both have their equal craziness. If we're going to be honest, they can get nutty. I'm looking at Florida Daily right now and I'm looking at a headline that says Florida Democrats getting ready for election lawsuits. Oh, boy. All right. Well, there's that.
Yeah. This one I think is going to be going down to the wire in Florida. Look, we already have 6.9 million votes already in the bank. That is a large chunk of what we had last time out. Democrats still have about a 300,000, 290,000 vote lead. What I keep telling people to keep an eye on in Florida, right now, 20.2% of those votes are cast by voters outside the major parties. Where do they go? And it's not just the presidential race. So I do think, to be very candid, that's not a good sign for the president, having that many independent voters already cast ballots. Keep an eye on where they go on Amendment 2 and especially Amendment 3. Those two amendments are close. They're very close to that 60% threshold. If they get over the top, it's going to be because of those large, increasing number of voters outside the major parties.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, that's before we get into Joe Biden, Donald Trump, the numbers, before we get into specific areas around the state, including some of the blue areas and things that I'm hearing that I want you to comment on. Let's dig into that. All right. So for those that don't know, Amendment 2, what is Amendment 2 and Amendment 3 as well? Let's describe what both of those amendments are about.
Yeah, absolutely. Amendment 2 raises the minimum wage gradually starting at $10, moving it to $15 over a 5-year period. That's being backed by John Morgan. Amendment 3 is the jungle primary amendment, which basically says, hey, you can vote in whatever primary you want, and the top two vote getters will, in the first round of primaries, will eventually clash in a runoff. We're seeing something similar to what we're seeing in Georgia across the way right now in that very competitive Senate race. That's what they're proposing. The two parties, both the major parties, oppose Amendment 3. They think it would absolutely ruin them. On the other hand, it does seem to have a lot of support from voters, Republicans, Democrats, and independents who aren't quite politically active. Why? Because a lot of them, you have Democrats in solidly red districts, you have Republicans in solidly blue districts. They like this idea. Because of that amendment, both of them, they need 60% to pass. Right now, I think it's going to be a nip and tuck fight on both of them to see if they can get there. And it comes down to those voters outside the major parties. Where do they go?
Yeah,
that's going to be where it is.
Well, what are the numbers? Like, what are you seeing now? Like, what are you? How close? When you say they're near the 60 threshold, how close are we talking? Do we have an idea? I mean, obviously we don't have an idea as far as the ballots, but an idea as far as the attitude. What are we looking at here?
I've seen polls for Amendment 2 putting it between 62 to 64%. That one I think can be easily go the other way. Mm-hmm. Amendment 3 is just under the 60% threshold. It's about between 55 to 58%, depending on where it goes. The one thing I will say about that is there are, as of right now, a little more independent voters than was expected. One thing I think that we've got to keep looking at, number of younger voters. That seems to be a little higher than a lot of the models expected. I think that probably bodes well for Amendment 2 and perhaps Amendment 3. Having said that, those are both very, very close. That's what we're looking at.
Oh boy! All right. Well, that's not a good thing. So we got to keep an eye on that story as we talk about the race between Joe Biden, Donald Trump in the state of Florida. Tell me what you're hearing, because here's what I am hearing, and this is, and I want to get because you've got this down. So, I'm hearing that the Broward numbers are very interesting. I'm hearing that the Broward numbers, Democrats are not really pulling the kind of numbers they thought they would. And there is a question as to whether or not some communities in Broward may be registered Democrats, but voting for the president because they do not want to have what maybe, like, for example, the Venezuelan community that is looking at a situation where they understand socialism when they see it. And they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know it. They don't want to feel like it's even coming close in this country. And so be careful if you are looking at Democrats' ballots necessarily, how they lean. I'm hearing there's worry in Broward. And I'm also hearing that there are some numbers in the state of Florida that we are close to when it comes to the president, and some target numbers as the early voting comes in. I'm hearing that those big, ginormous Democrat mail-in early numbers and the advantage that they had is dwindling mightily by the day. What are you hearing?
The numbers have been going down. I did hear that about Broward County. The Venezuelan community in Broward and Miami-Dade is not in the bag for Joe Biden, and there actually are. I think Trump's overperforming with Hispanics in South Florida than he is in the rest of the nation. That is absolutely spot on. The Democrats aren't exactly where they want to be when it comes to mail-ins. Having said that, the two things that are worrying Republicans in Florida right now: seniors. They don't like where they are with white seniors in a lot of key areas, namely around the Villages and Ocala. They also are not thrilled with the number of young voters and voters outside the major parties. That's what's keeping them up at night. I do think I have enough faith right now in the Republican Party of Florida and its operations to think Trump will win the Sunshine State. It'll be close. It'll be ugly. It always is in Florida. That seems to be kind of where things are breaking down now. I don't see any major upsets in the congressional races, speaking of which I'm hearing Byron Donalds could be in line for a major committee assignment in his first term out. There's a lot of love for him for leadership. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that means Ways and Means or Appropriations, but they like him. They absolutely like him, and I think that will be kind of a story to follow in the months to come.
Yeah.
But, no congressional upsets. Really, the only one I think is in any danger is Debbie McCarcel-Powell down in South Florida. The rest of them look pretty much set in place. I don't see any of the members of the delegation getting knocked off. It's coming. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, are there any surprises that we might hear about legislatively, Tallahassee, some of those races across the state? Is there anything that you're looking at that you're keeping an eye on because they could be major upsets or things to be concerned about? Certainly, Republicans, when they look at the state on a state level, there is always that concern that numbers change and majorities change and what that looks like. So give me an idea across the state, some of the races you're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, there are some very competitive state Senate races. There's actually one in Tallahassee. Lorraine Alsley, who was the Democrats' nominee for CFO in 2010, she was supposed to have been a shoo-in for the state Senate seat up here. She's in for a very close fight against a very strong Republican candidate. I think Alsley wins, but the Democrats are throwing more money in this race than they should have. I think at the end of the day, my guess is the Democrats pick up one state Senate seat and maybe 3 or 4 House seats, mostly around the Orlando area. I don't think it really changes anything on the House level. The state Senate, as I've said many times in this show, Drew, it's where conservative bills go to die.
Yeah.
I think no matter what happens on the state Senate level, I'm looking at a very messed up state Senate once again, a very dysfunctional state Senate. Will Simpson's coming in. I have a lot of faith in the guy, very strong conservative out of the north part of the Tampa Bay area. But it is going to be, the state Senate has been a snake pit for years now. I don't think that's changing based on the demographics here. One thing to keep an eye on, who does strong where, because everyone is not just watching, who wins, who loses. They're looking at margins. Why? Because the second the presidential election results are in, everyone's going to move to redistricting at the congressional and the state Senate levels. That is the big kind of unspoken secret here in Tallahassee. Well, we're talking about the presidential race. Everyone is focused increasingly more and more on redistricting.
Well,
That's
describe
gonna be a
that.
big battle.
Right. Describe that to everybody. Explain what that means, what you're talking about.
Sure. Well, the question is, does Florida? How many congressional seats does Florida get? Does it get 2 extra ones? Does it get 3? Where are those seats? Is there going to be another one in Southwest Florida? Is there going to be one by Jacksonville? Is there going to be one in Orlando? Everyone will start maneuvering. The congressional delegation will start maneuvering, trying to make sure their district's taken care of, making sure their party base, whether Republican or Democrat, is included in their district. They will also try to push somebody to fall on the sword. There is always a member of the delegation who gets sent into a district which isn't that healthy for him. Dan Webster did that. That happened to him a few years ago. He abandoned his district, ran north, and all of a sudden we now have Congresswoman Val Demings. Alan West was probably the chief victim of it in 2012. Right. There is going to be a lot of maneuvering on who gets what district. So, yeah, it's a district like, say, a very solidly Republican district, if the incumbent usually gets 62, 64%, and all of a sudden it's at 57, 58, that will impact redistricting. And it will impact who gets thrown under the bus, so to speak. That's going to be a fascinating story. It really is. I don't see many changes on the House level. I do think we'll see slight revisions to the state Senate. It'll impact a little bit, especially around the growing I-4 area. But the congressional delegation, that's where I think is really going to get bloody when it comes to redistricting the second the presidential election's done. Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on that. So as of right now, if you had to make a prediction, presidential race here in the state of Florida, does the president win the state of Florida? I think Trump wins by 0.7% in Florida. And I think, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to the losses of Arizona, perhaps North Carolina, and, those 3 giant states in the Great Lakes area. I think Biden wins, even if Trump wins Florida. I'm sorry. My hearing got. I think my headphone got cut off there. Did you say you think? You think Biden? Yeah, you think so? Unfortunately, I think Biden wins. To be very blunt, I don't like the fact that the president's playing defense in Arizona. I don't like the fact he's playing defense in Texas, Iowa. I think Biden, unfortunately, flips those states, and because of it, is able to pull it off. And there will be repercussions. Look, we just spoke of Alan West, the former Florida congressman. Yeah. He's now the chairman of the Texas GOP. That's a mess. The Republicans are going to lose 3 to 5 House seats, congressional seats in Texas. They're in a much closer Senate race than they should be. And for the first time, maybe since 1976, Democrats can flip Texas. Why? Because Alan West has just made a hash of things. The same with Kelly Ward in Arizona. They have people, they might be loyal to Trump, they might be political outsiders, but they don't know how to manage political parties. That's the difference between, say, those states and Joe Gruters and Blaise Ingoglia, what they've done here, been able to support President Trump while still running a state party. There's a major difference. Yeah. So, I also think, unfortunately, the Senate goes. I think. Oh, boy, Kevin Derby is impending disaster for the country. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Because I'm looking at the clock. We've got to run. But here's the good news. The good news is we have a day where we're going to find all this out. And the good news is that we're going to have you back, and then we're going to be able to go over all of this. So why don't we plan on next week, after everything is said and done, especially on the state level, we can start to examine and we'll break it down. So let's make an appointment for next week, maybe Wednesday, and we'll break it on down, as the kids like to say. I look forward to it, Drew. I look forward to it. All right. Take care. Always a pleasure, my friend. We appreciate you. All right, there he goes. Kevin Derby, FloridaDaily.com is the website. All right. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. You call right now. 239-479-5592. Caller number 5, you get to play Drew's College up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, here's Sabrina Katz with traffic.
A crash at Exora and Bayshore is now slowing traffic east and west on Bayshore. This is just near Business 41. If you're heading out to 75, give yourself a couple extra minutes or hop on Palm Beach Boulevard. Also, a crash at Veronica Shoemaker and MLK Boulevard is slowing traffic. If you usually take Veronica Shoemaker to head south to MLK, avoid it, stick to Michigan. There's also a crash in Lehigh at Gunnery Road and Lee Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For your Thursday, 89 degrees, very warm and humid with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Can't rule out a few quick passing showers, but overall pretty limited. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Over the last 4 years, conservatives like Bob Rommel worked hard to create jobs and world-class schools and preserve our quality of life. But America is under attack by the radical left. If they win, we will face higher taxes, a weak economy, and courts filled with judges who don't respect our religious liberty or the Second Amendment. That's why we need Bob Rommel, a Reagan conservative we can trust.
Paid by Bob Rommel, Republican for state representative.
With mail-in ballots, the state was feeling blue. With early voting, it's seeing red. What does that mean? People care this year more than ever. And because you care, we're here. Democrat or Republican, this election is about you. Trust Wink News Campaign Central to be there, from the candidate's final push to the ballots being cast to reporting the issues that matter to you. Whether it's the local races, amendments, or presidential decision, we'll talk to you, not at you. With perspective, not posturing. Trust Wink News, Campaign Central.
Next, Rachel.
That scared me, though. Did it scare you?
Have a smashing good time.
I'm using Pappardelle because I have it in my pantry.
Cooking Rachel's latest make-your-own takeout.
Now you get that out of a box, right?
Then,
when I feel a cold coming on, I load up on vitamin C and D. Does that really work?
How does Dr. Ian weather the dreaded cold and flu season?
Strawberries have more vitamin C than oranges. People don't know that.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
At Conditioned Air, we aren't trying to fix or sell all things under the sun. We're very focused on one thing, your comfort in your home and office. We've had this focus for over 58 years now. Our team is nearly 400 strong, and each team member's desire is for your total satisfaction with our services. Southwest Florida weather can take a toll on your air conditioner, so when you need us, we're here to take care of the issue quickly and safely so you can get on with your day. Conditioned Air offers planned maintenance programs, emergency service, replacement systems, and indoor air quality products to keep you comfortable all year long. You can count on the people of Conditioned Air. We don't push unnecessary parts and equipment on you, which means no high pressure and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Since your comfort is essential, call Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962, serving all of Southwest Florida. Call 1-888-COLD-AIR or log on to conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, my shower door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myshowerdoor.com.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Rich is in beautiful Lehigh Acres. Hello there, Richard. How are you?
Good, Drew. How you doing?
I'm fine. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Hey, Richard, who won the GOP nominee for President of the United States, the nomination in 2016?
Mr. Donald Trump.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. Let's see if you get a bachelor's on this question. How many in the Bush family have campaigned for the presidency? How many Bush family members have campaigned for the presidency?
3.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's on this question. How many libertarian presidential nominees have gone on to win a presidential election?
None.
That is correct. All right, you got a master's. Let's see if you get a PhD on this question. There was a president that gave a radio address. It was called Fireside Chats. He did Fireside Chats. Who was that president?
Oh, gosh. That's a swing and a miss on that one.
Oh, boy. Well, give it a swing. Go ahead and just say a name.
Lincoln.
That was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FDR did those fireside chats. See, you learned something here on Drew's College, Richard. That's what we do. We're educating.
There you go. Yes, I did.
I don't know why I'm yelling, but just because I don't know. I'm all fired up this morning. All right, Richard, we appreciate we're excited. We appreciate you playing. Thank you so much. 239-479-5592, 650-750 each and every day we do it. All right, coming up, we're going to dig into the whole Hunter Biden laptop issue. National Pulse was the first to have some of this incredible audio. We're going to get into some of the details on that.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
What do conservatives like Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez have in common? They agree it's time for a change on the Lee County School Board. That's why they endorsed Jacqueline Perez. Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez endorsed Jacqueline Perez because they know she'll fight to keep our children safe. Jacqueline Perez is the only candidate in this race that stands with Sheriff Carmine Marcino in support of the Hybrid Guardian program, giving resource officers and highly trained school personnel the authority to carry firearms on school grounds in order to protect their students. Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez trust Jacqueline Perez to be a conservative watchdog for the school district's budget of nearly $2 billion. They know she'll stop the liberals' attempts to raise our taxes again and will fight to put an end to the chronic mismanagement of our tax dollars that have cost us millions of dollars. Join Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez in supporting Jacqueline Perez for the Lee County School Board. Paid by Jacqueline Perez for Lee County School Board, District 3.
Son, get in the car.
No, Dad, not your car. It smells horrid and it looks awful. I'm scared, Dad. I'm really scared.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers will get you out of your scary old car and into a 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease for just $49 per month. Yes, $49 a month for a new car. We've got to sell so many new Kias, it's scary. So we've slashed our prices to the bone. New 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Select models with interest-free financing for 75 months. Is your credit dreadful? Galliana Kia isn't afraid of your bad credit. 2020 Kia Rio, $13,990. New Kia Fortes, $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at Sunny plus tax, title, dealer, and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires month 5th.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A man accused of using personal information and stealing from unemployment is now behind bars. The FBI says they arrested Alan Bienemy in Fort Lauderdale. The Lehigh Acres man is accused of taking people's information from other states and then filing false unemployment applications. Men and women behind the largest elder fraud scheme in the nation are facing charges, and several live here in Southwest Florida. Over the last 20 years, 150,000 seniors nationwide received telemarketing calls that cost them a total of $300 million. Those men and women pose as magazine sales companies. It convinced seniors they could reduce their monthly costs on their existing subscriptions or even cancel their subscription for a fee. Another classroom at an elementary school is in quarantine. The Lee County School District says the classroom at Bonita Springs Elementary is in quarantine for 14 days because of COVID-19. The district says this is the third classroom this year. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
A crash at Exora and Bayshore is now slowing traffic east and west on Bayshore. This is just near Business 41. If you're heading out to 75, give yourself a couple extra minutes or hop on Palm Beach Boulevard. Also, a crash at Veronica Shoemaker and MLK Boulevard is slowing traffic. If you usually take Veronica Shoemaker to head south to MLK, avoid it, stick to Michigan. There's also a crash in Lehigh at Gunnery Road and Lee Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. Thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South makes windows that are energy efficient and hurricane resistant. You get both. If you have aluminum windows, it's time to get rid of yesterday's technology. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. Don't even think of buying windows until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Joe Biden said,
I have never discussed with my son or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
That's a lie. Emails showed Joe Biden met with his son Hunter's Ukrainian business associate, and Hunter sought millions of dollars from a Chinese energy company for his family, including the big guy. This is a smoking gun. Hunter arranged for his business partner to meet with Joe in Beijing. Biden's son took millions from shady Chinese sources and even discussed holding a 10% stake in a Chinese firm for the big guy. Joe Biden sold out America to make his family rich, and he lied to the American people to cover it up. Foreign money made the Bidens rich. Now, Joe Biden is compromised. We can't risk Joe Biden. Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening. Who's able to hear more than what's being said and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Walgreens has always been there.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day if you want to watch. On YouTube, at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. And we also appreciate a few minutes with Thomas Farnan right now. He is a contributor to the National Pulse and Real Clear News. He also has a book out called The Russia Lie, How the Military-Industrial Complex Targeted Trump. He's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, Drew. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for a few minutes. We do appreciate it. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm looking at the headline of the book, and the first thing that comes to mind when I see The Russia Lie, How the Military-Industrial Complex Targeted Trump, I can't help but think that when we're talking about that, I might go right to this story when it comes to Hunter Biden and what we know about who knew and how early on they knew about this laptop. We hear about it in the FBI's possession. I might ask the question, are we talking about a complex here that would possibly hold that laptop and that information, knowing full well that in possession of that and not telling anybody, but knowing what's on it, that maybe you might be able to, I don't know, maybe hold things over a certain individual who may one day become president of the United States, that would help for you to, I don't know, I hate to use the word blackmail, but dare I say, stranger conspiracy theories have come out of Washington, D.C. Am I crazy? Is that a crazy thought?
No, I don't think any thoughts at this point are crazy. If you followed the Russia lie at all closely, and the book is available at therussialie.com. We're having some trouble with Google getting the search to direct it to the book. So,
I can't imagine that would be the case. Why would that happen? It's such unbelievable.
So go to the old-fashioned way, therussialie.com. It's a short ebook that sort of tells the story. But one of the stories is that the alphabet agencies, the FBI and its counterintelligence function, and the CIA are not, honestly investigating crimes, and they were not honestly investigating crimes about Russia. They were running a political operation, and they should be prosecuted for it. And the fact that they were running a political operation first against the Trump campaign and then against the Trump presidency is undisputable at this point.
Right.
And we put the facts in there. We have the links. And I think any sort of speculation as to why they would do things is appropriate. This is the house of cards on steroids.
Mm. Yeah, and, there was a time when people would talk about the military-industrial complex and those that knew and understood what that meant might say, this is outrageous, it's conspiracy. The problem is that these conspiracies, quote unquote, have been playing out before our very eyes. We see what is happening. And then there become these questions about, and maybe you can speak to this as well, the idea that that somebody knew about this. There's no way that all of these Hunter Biden family issues that have come to light now in this way were not known by individuals behind the scenes. It's hard to imagine that all of the connections that we've talked about, and I'd like you to talk about them, and even the some of the shocking audio we've heard in just the past 72 hours. Certainly, the National Pulse audio was quite revealing of Hunter Biden. That people knew about this for years, for decades, and even the Obama administration and the connections there with allowing Joe Biden to be the point guy in Ukraine. All of that spelled trouble. But why now?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And, be careful. They want to use the idea of conspiracy theory to talk you out of looking into it. And you can find these facts by even a superficial review. The words the military-industrial complex were first spoken by the biggest non-conspiracy theorist that America ever produced, President Dwight Eisenhower. And all he was saying is that if we give this sort of power to military contractors, to the military, and to the mediocre bureaucrats in our alphabet agencies, there is a danger that someday they will take control and they will try to vector public policy to their self-interest. And I think that's what's happened here. And you talk about the audio. You've heard the audio?
Certainly. Oh, yeah, we played it yesterday. I mean, all of the audio that has been coming up, certainly the National Pulse audio, you're talking about the one specifically with Hunter Biden from just, a day and a half ago, I guess it was. Is that the audio you're specifically talking about? Because I could play it right. Yeah, because I'll play it right now for those that didn't have a chance to hear it. And maybe you can comment on it. Go ahead.
Yes, I would encourage everybody to listen. I would encourage you to play it. And, the quote I'll take from the audio is, "This is Hunter Biden leaving a message on his computer, an audio message. And his voice is showing some degree of anxiety." Mm-hmm. And it's certainly true. These things that he's saying, this is not Russian disinformation. This information is highly verified. And he says, in part, the richest man in the world is missing who was my partner. Yep. He's been missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the, and he uses the F word, effing largest effing LNG port in the world. So this shows that Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, was dealing with the richest man in the world in China to build a liquid natural gas port in China. And he would be receiving billions of dollars for this. This comes out, almost exactly a week after Joe Biden stands at the debate and tells the people of Pennsylvania, where I live, that he's going to be moving away from natural gas. He's going to be moving away from oil production. He's going to end fracking. He's been saying that. He denies it, but he's been saying that. So we're giving the fracking business, the natural gas business, to our biggest competitor, China, and we're going to stop the people in Pennsylvania from making money on natural gas. That is what's wrong with Washington.
Yeah. Thomas Farnan's joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, contributor at the National Pulse and Real Clear News, author of The Russia Lie. If you go to therussialie.com, you can buy the book right now. The book is titled The Russia Lie, How the Military-Industrial Complex Targeted Trump. I encourage you to get the book. By the way, for those that have not had the opportunity to hear the audio, let's play this audio now. It's about a minute long, so here's the audio, and then we'll talk a little bit more on the other side.
I get calls from my father to tell me that the New York Times is calling, but my old partner, Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is the one taking the calls because my father will not stop sending the calls to Eric. I have another New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Koh, the spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing, who was my partner. He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the largest LNG port in the world. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me in a criminal case, and my father without telling me.
There it is, Thomas. So I might ask you this question on the back end of that audio. Has to do with the Southern District of New York. Has anybody questioned about the Southern District of New York? Who was there at the Southern District that would alert or make that call, or what that aspect there is also something that needs to be talked about?
Yeah, there were criminal proceedings about these transactions in the Southern District of New York, but they stopped short of going after the Bidens.
Right.
And I believe the Southern District of New York is highly politicized, and everybody has shut up about this. Earlier in the audio, you heard the New York Times asking questions, and the New York Times would and should ask questions because this is a big story. And once Joe Biden was the Democratic nominee, they stopped asking questions. I go back to an August 2nd, 2019 Politico article, and this is before Joe Biden is the nominee, and they're questioning the Biden family's businesses and political influences and how and to what extent they extend to Joe. And the title of the article is Biden Inc., and it questions Joe's claims that he's a working class guy. It puts the working class in the subhead, in scare quotes. It's, like, come on, you guys are making lots of money off of foreign entities. Joe defends that line of attack in his campaign by saying two things. I didn't know about it, and I wasn't involved in it. If that was a Trump, if the same facts, existed for Trump or any other Republican, the media would not accept such a claim.
Right.
They would keep investigating. But for Joe Biden, they did accept it. But the big reveal on this laptop is that's not true. He did know, and he was involved.
Right.
And there is an incredible email about one of these China deals where it says 10% is held by H. Hunter for the big guy. And it's indisputable that the big guy is Joe Biden.
Right.
So Joe Biden not only knew about this, and these emails reveal that he did know, but he's receiving a portion of it. The New York Post runs that story. Twitter takes the story down, and social media works to bury the story on the premise that we can't verify that. We can't have that out in advance of the election because we can't verify that. That's not true. It's verified. A lot of this stuff is self-authenticating. But even if you concede to them that, they're being very careful here.
Yeah. But I guess...
Within days,
go ahead.
Within days, the email is verified by another recipient, Tony Bobulinski,
right,
who received the email and gives an independent copy of it and says, yes, this all happened. It's very corrupt. And I have big questions about it.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Thomas, so at the end of the day, here's what we have. We have a lot of information. We have a lot of emails and documents, and we have a lot of places where we are able to connect the dots in far better a way than we were told about the Russian collusion hoax. And all the anonymous sources and people that we couldn't see stepping up to a microphone to confirm in any kind of document. So we have what appears to be the real thing this time around. The question becomes now, what happens next? Because with all of this, as we continue to get more and more information as it comes out, and we still have the election, after the election, ultimately, this family has to be held accountable. We can't just let this fade away, because if people aren't held accountable, it goes back to how many people, when they talked about the Russian collusion hoax, when do we see people locked up, so to speak? When do we see the cuffs? When do we see people being held accountable? Is the answer, I'm almost sorry to say this, is the answer to tech holding back and censorship, to the information being out there and nothing, or the information being out there and everything we're seeing now, is the answer to all of this, you're not going to get convictions. You're not going to see anything that you're looking for that would be tangible, concrete at the end of the day. The best we get out of this is the knowledge that it happened, is the embarrassment of those, or the legacies being destroyed, if you will, only to hopefully in the future make it better. Does that make sense?
I think if Biden wins this election, all of this is buried. And I think there's a chance people like me get called into the FBI and sort of harassed. I think that's what happens if Biden wins. And if not me, then others, who looked at this laptop. If Trump wins, I don't know what's going to happen. He keeps, hiring people from Washington, D.C., for the Justice Department and the FBI, and they get in there and they work against him. They slow walk things.
Yeah.
If Trump wins, this will be one of the reasons he wins. The people in places like Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and Florida, where you're from, are going to insist that there's no more slow walking,
right,
that we get the story finally. And it remains to be seen whether the people he's put in charge are going to do that. This implicates all of Washington. I think many in Washington, Republican and Democrat, are involved in this sort of grift, where the family makes a lot of money off of the name of the person who is in politics.
Right.
And it's really what's wrong with Washington, and it's why people in working class towns in Pennsylvania rose up and picked a guy like Trump. It's like, please do something about this.
Yeah.
And it's because their interests are not being accommodated and advanced. It's the interests of Biden Incorporated that are being accommodated and advanced, and that's the issue right now. I think Trump has to win, and the pressure has to be put on.
Yeah, and I think that I think you hit the nail on the head, which is that's the fear of so many, that at the end of the day, the thing that people really don't want to talk about, but it is the open secret now, kind of. The fact that it's not just the Bidens, but there are other people that probably have done things that they would like to keep under wraps. And if one is opened, then you've got to open up the whole box. And if you open up the whole box, then you're calling out all of the corruption, where the American people don't have a problem with that. We want to know, and we want to clean out the swamp, so to speak. We want the truth. But unfortunately, there are those that would like to protect their side of it.
Yeah, and if you get my book, it's 40 pages long, and we're only charging $5, but it's an attempt to crystallize the Russia lie.
Yeah.
And it has links to original sources. And these sources are not controvertible. We kept the links in the book itself. So if you say, is that just Farnan saying that? I'd like to look a little bit deeper. You just click on the link, and there it is. A lot of this stuff is knowable by open source. And, a guy like me can put it together and write a book, but there are other people like me. I think that the documentary, The Plot Against the President, it's the top documentary in the country, and it's just really well done. And it's a lot of the same stuff. So, that kind of thing. I think a lot of people who write about the Russia hoax are themselves deliberately ignorant of some of the facts, because you have Washington pundits who themselves are connected to think tanks and money that have that have skin in the game.
Yeah.
So, some people will not tell the whole story. I give the National Pulse and Raheem Kassam credit for publishing my book and doing so. It takes some risk, and I give other people credit. Lee Smith is another one who's doing a great job, but it'll come out. It's there on the internet. The Trump voters are very smart and critical people, and they know how to go and get the facts and to understand the facts.
Yeah.
I'm almost amused by the caricature of Trump voters. The rube deplorable. That's not true. These are people that own businesses, that run QuickBooks, that have to make a living, that have to make causal connections.
You betcha.
And they're better capable of understanding complicated facts than maybe a James Comey.
I would agree.
Marinated in the swamp and just can't think of his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
Veronica
we've got to
Shoemaker.
run right now. Thomas Farnan joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News contributor at the National Pulse. And by the way, his book is The Russia Lie. You go to therussialie.com and you can pick that up right now. And I would encourage you to do that. Thomas, listen, I appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again. All the best.
Thank you. You too.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
At Conditioned Air, we aren't trying to fix or sell all things under the sun. We're very focused on one thing, your comfort in your home and office. We've had this focus for over 58 years now. Our team is nearly 400 strong, and each team member's desire is for your total satisfaction with our services. Southwest Florida weather can take a toll on your air conditioner, so when you need us, we're here to take care of the issue quickly and safely so you can get on with your day. Conditioned Air offers planned maintenance programs, emergency service, replacement systems, and indoor air quality products to keep you comfortable all year long. You can count on the people of Conditioned Air. We don't push unnecessary parts and equipment on you, which means no high pressure and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Since your comfort is essential, call Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. Serving all of Southwest Florida. Call 1-888-COLD-AIR or log on to conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Plus, ask how to get a $250 prepaid card when you upgrade. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra subject to change. Prepaid card offer ends 11/15/20 and requires business internet 1 gig double play.
Over the last 4 years, conservatives like Bob Rommel worked hard to create jobs and world-class schools and preserve our quality of life. But America is under attack by the radical left. If they win, we will face higher taxes, a weak economy, and courts filled with judges who don't respect our religious liberty or the Second Amendment. That's why we need Bob Rommel, a Reagan conservative we can trust.
Paid by Bob Rommel, Republican for State Representative.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. Voter fraud targets our state's top leader. Investigators say Anthony Guevara changed the governor's address on his voter registration by using simple information online that someone could take right off your Facebook page. In Guevara's search history, investigators found the Department of State website and voter information lookup page. That's how he was able to change Governor Ron DeSantis' address to an address in West Palm Beach. The Secretary of State says this was not a breach in their system. They were able to fix it so the governor was still able to vote. Court documents show the state and defense worked out an agreement to allow a Cape Coral police officer to enter into diversion after a hit and run. Investigators say surveillance video shows that officer, who works undercover, back his truck into a car in a parking lot. Then they say he got out to look at that damage, went into the hotel, and then came back and left. They're expected back in court November 17th. An FGCU dean has been reassigned after faculty shared concerns to the university president. The university says it reassigned Dean Ann Carey, who oversaw the Mariab College of Health and Human Services. The university did not say what concerns prompted the move, but it is now assessing leadership and direction for the college going forward. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
The crash at Veronica Shoemaker and MLK Boulevard still very active scene. If you're heading southbound towards MLK, just go ahead and hop on Michigan. That's going to be your quicker option. If you're in Lehigh Acres, the crash at Lee Boulevard and Gunnery Road still causing a delay southbound on Gunnery heading towards Lee Boulevard, as well as slowing traffic on the Daniels extension, but some relief. Now the delay is just about near the interstate if you're heading westbound. And Cape Coral commuters, no surprise here, we're packed on that Midway Bridge into Fort Myers. Go ahead and hop on the Cape Coral Bridge. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a few limited isolated showers are possible with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Temperatures topping out in the upper 80s to near 90, but with all the humidity, it'll feel hotter than that. As we look ahead to your Friday, chance for some spotty rain during the morning. Then during the second half of the day, we dry out. Thanks to front number 1. For the weekend, it's going to be slightly drier, but still a few showers can't be ruled out across our area, but overall pretty limited. Just a slight chance of rain for the trick-or-treaters. Most are dry. And then into next week, thanks to a fall front number 2, even cooler and drier, breezy weather. Lows in the 60s with highs in the 70s and 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's sports page. These are stressful times. There's turmoil all around us, from our personal concerns about health, family, and finances to our feelings about those who trash this great country, its traditions, its protectors, and its flag. I want to scream and make my voice heard, but instead I'm part of the silent majority, those who are dependable, caring, fair-minded, fiercely patriotic, and who every day help to make America great. Stevie honors the silent majority every day by serving our award-winning food and beverages. Relieve today's stress during our happy hour with a great meal. Choose full-at-the-bone ribs or the best burgers in town, great pizza and more. Most of all, sit down, relax, eat, and drink with others of the silent majority. Stevie honors this great country, its traditions, and the sacrifices made by all those before us and today. Our servicemen, our policemen, our firemen, and doctors, nurses, homemakers, and all others of the silent majority. God bless you, and God bless America, and most importantly, vote. Stevie Tomatoes, Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral.
With mail-in ballots, the state was feeling blue. With early voting, it's seeing red. What does that mean? People care this year more than ever. And because you care, we're here. Democrat or Republican, this election is about you. Trust Wink News Campaign Central to be there, from the candidate's final push to the ballots being cast to reporting the issues that matter to you. Whether it's the local races, amendments, or presidential decision, we'll talk to you, not at you. With perspective, not posturing. Trust Wink News Campaign Central.
Chuck is back.
That means it's time. It's time.
It's time.
In order to stop the world from ending.
Come on, man. Does any of this feel right to you? It doesn't matter how we feel.
Dudes, chill.
Find the guy who was there at the very beginning.
I'm Adam. You know, God's primo. First dude off the assembly line. All right, let's get this party started.
Awesome.
Supernatural followed by The Outpost. All new tonight on the CW.
Tonight starting at 8 on WXCW.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. 2020 Jeep Renegade Trailhawk 4x4 loaded, $139 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right, loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice, just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months, 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592. Let me say the phone number once again. It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. Coming up, we're going to do the thing, everybody. We call it doing the thing. And the thing is taking your phone calls right up until the end of the program, whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about the polls, you want to talk about the state of Florida, you want to talk about local issues, you want to talk about anything that we are going to play coming up in the top 5 audio clips, whatever you'd like, 239-479-5592. We'll do the thing right after the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Just asking you if you can name for me one high-profile liberal person or company who you've censored. I understand that you're saying that there are complaints on both sides, but I just want one name of one person or one entity.
Senator, I need to think about it and get you more of a list. But
yeah, I got to get you more of a list. All right, there you go. Mike Lee tearing apart Jack Dorsey from Twitter, and right there, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook saying, listen, we know about all the censorship going on the Republican side and going on when it comes to Republicans, conservatives, but we never hear anything about Democrats or even Democrat leaders. Can you name one? And no, they can't because they know what they're doing.
Number 4.
So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing to interview Tony Bobulinski about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York, and we asked him to send those documents to us in L.A., and he did that. So Monday afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand-name company that we've used, you've used countless times with never a single problem. But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the contents were missing. The documents had disappeared.
The documents have nothing to see here, everybody. It's Tucker Carlson last night on the program describing how documents were supposed to end up in his hands, and he doesn't have them, and they disappeared, and it's kind of an odd thing how the documents disappear like that. But hey, have you seen Joe Biden lately?
Number 3.
There was an op-ed, there was a book by someone calling themselves Anonymous. Are you aware of who that is?
I'm not. Look, and that was a parlor game that happened in Washington, D.C. of a lot of folks trying to think of who that might be. I've got my own thoughts about who that might be, but I want my focus to be on the president, and I certainly don't want to. I wear a mask for 2 things, Anderson: Halloweens and pandemics. So no.
Oh, so no. Okay, so there you go. 2018, New York Times publishes this big explosive story about a senior official in the Trump administration and this anonymous claim about Trump, and he's an idiot, and everybody hates him, and they're talking all these things, and we come to find out it's a guy who has been a contributor on CNN who not only is not a highly placed senior official, he's like one of the lowest of lows on the DHS list of the totem pole. He's just an anonymous guy who's trying to make a stink and lied right to Anderson Cooper's face twice about that. Weird how that works.
Number 2.
Earlier today, you talked to the Journal of the American Medical Association, or JAMA, and you were talking about what an extraordinary thing has happened in Melbourne. They had a 111-day lockdown, started with 20,000 cases a day, and as you pointed out, 2 days ago, they had 0 cases. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, we can't do that because we're not Melbourne, Australia, Shep Smith, the lowest rated cable news program. Asking Dr. Fauci, well, why don't we shut it down? I mean, Australia did it. Now they got no cases. Why don't we shut it down? We don't shut it down. That's why.
Number 1.
Earlier today, you talked to...
Okay, wait, that's Shep again. All right, hold on a second. Now I got the wrong piece of audio. See, I got so upset about Shep that I got the wrong piece of... Here you go.
For both Mr. Zuckerberg and Dorsey, who censored New York Post stories or throttled them back, do either one of you have any evidence that the New York Post story is part of Russian disinformation, or that those emails aren't authentic? Do any of you have any information whatsoever they're not authentic, or that they are Russian disinformation? Mr. Dorsey.
We don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's right. So, but we're going to censor the New York Post and anything that has to do with Hunter Biden on Twitter because, you know, we're a bunch of libs and that's what we do.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
That was Senator Ron Johnson yesterday at a Senate hearing with Zuckerberg and Dorsey, and it was quite the beard that Jack Dorsey has. That's the face of two individuals that don't give a snot what you think. No, seriously, Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey are the two faces of I don't care what you think. I'm running this place, and you can say whatever you want, and you're not going to do anything, and I don't care. That's the vibe that I got. I'm looking at look at this third quarter GDP. First estimate 33% GDP. It is a record annualized pace right now. We are coming back, baby, and coming back strong. But no, like Shep said, we need to shut it down, everybody. I mean, that's what we have to do for COVID cases. That, again, for the millionth time, we got to do the numbers and remind people of the fatality rate of COVID. Age group 0 to 19 is a 99.997 survival rate. 20 to 49 is a 99.98% survival rate. 50 to 69 years of age is a 99.5% survival rate. 70 plus is a 94.6% survival rate, but we got to shut it down. All right, everybody. It's your calls. It's your time. Whatever you would like to talk about each and every day. We clear the phone lines. We bring you in because you all want to do the thing, you know, the phone calls, the thing.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, let's go to Greg in Naples wanted to start us off with his thing. What's your thing there, Greg? What's your thing?
True. My thing is what you guys were talking about earlier. The people of this country want to see charges. They want to see convictions.
True.
They want to see draining the swamp. This was one of President Trump's promises that he has yet to be able to fulfill because of all the roadblocks, because of all the misdirections, because of all the Russia, and all this other nonsense. Quite simply, Americans want to see the politicians that are corrupt out of office.
If
we can't get them voted out because of unfortunately the districts that they're in and the people are too stupid to see that the people that they keep reelecting and putting back in there are a significant aspect of the problem. Then we need to find where they have committed these acts.
Yeah.
Charge them for it, try them for it, and put them in jail for it.
Yeah. Well, and again, what I was bringing up earlier, Greg, and thanks for the phone call, is that unfortunately I'm worried that the best we may get out of the Russian collusion hoax and Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and the corruption and everything else is basically destroying people's legacies like Barack Obama and Joe Biden and, Lunchbox Joe and Comey and others. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I'm not sure that I am wrong, but we'll see. All right. Blake's in Fort Myers. Blake, what's your thingy? What's your thing?
Hey, how you doing this morning? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
All right, buddy. Hey, Sunday, man, in Cape Coral, we're doing the Trump parade. I don't know if you heard about it. Trying to get as many people as we can coming out there. We're going to meet at the post office in the Cape at 11 o'clock. And then we're going to, it starts at 12, and we're going to go down, we're going to do a big loop. Cape Coral Parkway, right down the Chiquita to Pine Island and back up to Del Prado. So,
all right.
If anybody wants to join, we'll be meeting at the post office in Cape Coral at 11 o'clock Sunday.
All right. Sounds great, Blake. We'll put that up on our Facebook page. Doris is in Cape Coral. Doris, what's the thing? What's your thing, Doris?
Hi, Drew. Love your show.
Thank you.
I manage the Fort Myers Republican office, and it is booming. I managed it also in 2016. We are getting double the volunteers. We're getting a 30% higher turnover from Republican independent to, from Democrat and independent to Republican than we did 4 years ago. And it's amazing the number of people that are coming in and out of the office and are volunteering. I was stunned at the boom that we're getting.
Wow. All right. Well, that's good stuff. So you're feeling confident. You're feeling good, Doris?
I'm feeling very confident that Lee County in Florida and the country is going to go for Trump. Everything we're hearing all over from our counterparts is all good news.
All right. Well, we like to hear that. All right. We got Chris in Cape Coral. Chris, what's your thing?
Hey, good morning, Drew. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Hey, so did he say 11 o'clock at the post office in Cape Coral on Sunday?
Sorry, say that again?
The parade. He said 11
he said 11 o'clock Sunday, yeah.
Perfect. Good news. Anyway, so my birthday was October 9th, but I held off until the 24th to celebrate going to vote with my son, who's 21, his first vote ever. I'm a Trump supporter, and I told my son that I didn't want him to vote for Trump because I vote for Trump. I wanted him to educate himself. I wanted him to do it the right way, and we were going to go out after and have a beer and talk about it. And I sat down. I was nervous, actually, and I said to him, who'd you vote for? And he said, Trump. And I said, why? And he said, why would I vote for someone that's been in office or in politics for 47 years and didn't platform on one accomplishment? And I'm so proud of my son for that.
Ah, that's the way to do it. That is good stuff. I'm so happy to hear that. For that, you get a Pelosi laugh. I don't know if that's going to be. I don't know if that's what we give people now. That's like our prize during the thing. Chris, good stuff. All right, we appreciate the call. Let's see. We have another Chris. Chris is in beautiful L.A., otherwise known as Lehigh Acres. Hey, nope, Chris is gone. All right, what do we got here? All right, I'm losing. All right, Kelly's in Naples. There you go. Is this Kelly?
Yes.
All right, Kelly's in Naples. What's your thing, Kelly?
Real quick, if they're going to stack the Supreme Court, if they get the House, the Senate, and the presidency, I say if we get it, we change the Constitution so he can do 8 more years after the next 4.
Okay.
That'll piss him off. Excuse me.
Is that what you're trying to do now? You just want to make everybody angry. We'll have a...
Well, we just see the flip side of the same coin.
There you go. Perpetual Trump, Donald Trump 2073. All right.
Just saying it'll freak them out. All right.
Yeah, well, that's a thing right there. All right. Let's see what else we got. We got, is this Todd? Todd's in Cape Coral. What's your thing, Todd?
Hey, Drew. How are you?
I'm good. Right. What's your thing there, Todd?
You there?
I'm here. It's me. Is that you?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to just make you guys aware when you're going out to your polling stations to pay attention to the signage. I was at the library in West Cape just yesterday, and what I see is they're taking all the Trump signs. They're not tearing them down, but they're actually putting Biden-Harris signs right up against them on each side. So you really don't see the signs anymore. All you see is the Biden-Harris sign.
Yeah, that's
so
the best.
Pay attention to that when you're out.
That's the best they've got. That's a rough life.
Yeah. Yeah, we took them and just separated them. We didn't, throw the other ones on the ground, but we did separate them.
Oh, that's too.
Everybody do the right thing.
That's so kind. That's a very kind thing for you to do there, Todd on the Cape. So Todd's doing the kind thing, and look at that. All right, let's go to let's see. Mark's in Naples. Mark, what's your thing, Mark?
Hey, I just want to commend the guy that educated his son. Told him he didn't want him to vote for Trump because he did. He wanted him to educate himself.
That's the way to do it.
We need more parents like that. I commend him, and I think he deserves another Pelosi laugh.
Okay. There you go. All right. He gets...
Take care, Drew.
Yeah, you too. All right. Yeah, that's something special about that, right? That moment where when you're educating your son and, I will say this as a homeschool family, and one of the things that we tried to pride ourselves on in my household is, listen, you go to the text. You go to the original text. You want to make a decision in your life. You want to know the truth behind whatever is being said. Try not to go to what other people tell you is happening. But make your way as close as you can to the original text to get the information and the facts and the truth. It's all out there. That's what the amazing thing about the super cool Al Gore interwebs is all about, is that you'd be surprised, and even your local library, how right at your fingertips and other places as well, you can get all the information that you need to get original documents, to get the facts, everything that you need. All right, do we have time for one more, or are we out? What do we do? We got time? Is that a thumb? One more? One more. All right. I'm going to let you, we got a whole bank of calls. You want to pick who our last caller is going to be, Jake? I'm going to leave it up to you. Which number? He doesn't want to do it. Give me one number. Let's see. Let's go to, I don't know. This is such a tough one.
I don't know. They're all good.
All right, they're all good. All right, let's go to Jeff in Fort Myers. Jeff, congratulations. You're finishing up the thingy today. What's your thing?
Hey, man, that's cool. Hey, Drew, this is Jeff from Fort Myers. Hey, I'm just thinking, the DNC and the squad, they're fully aware of what's going on with Biden, what has gone on. As long as they limp him in, what happens next? He gets impeached, then who's in power?
Well, there is that creepy thought, right, that we're in a situation, and thanks for the call, Jeff, that we're in a situation where this is all known, that, sure, Joe Biden's got problems. He's got China connections. So does the family. We got a lot of corruption going on. And if he were to win the presidency, the Democrats might sit back and go, oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know if we can have this guy as president. And there's some other things that are going on, and some things, questionable things that he may have said,
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Yeah, so even we don't want him. So, you got Kamala Harris there. She's really good. And then who would be the vice president in that case? Ooh. All right. Enough of that. Enough of the thingy. We'll do more thingy tomorrow. All right, let's find out what's happening with the remainder of the forecast with Week News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
For your Thursday, 89 degrees, very warm and humid with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Can't rule out a few quick passing showers, but overall pretty limited. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.